For more than 3 decades, a family had been living in Aurahi rural municipality in Siraha, a district in Madhya province. The house, built under a government program, was small, but it was home to a family of 7. A family striving and thriving, dreaming for a better future. But on 22nd of February, everything changed in an instant. Not because of a natural disaster, but because of an age-old belief that refuses to die. Aurahi municipality was preparing for a Mahayagya, a sacred Hindu ritual meant to bring purity and prosperity. Locals were excited and looking forward to the event. But for Deepak Malik, the Mahayagya was to shake his reality and remind him once again why, despite him being as much human as anyone, he was still not good enough for the society he lives in. Malik was told his house could not stand near the Yagya pavilion, as for them, his very presence and his family's shadow were a stain on their sacred ceremony because they belonged to the Dome community that has historically been considered untouchable. Before they could even process their emotions, their home was gone. Theirs was the only home that was bulldozed by using municipality resources. The demolition was suggested by Mahayagya organizer Bajrangi Baba and carried out by Rural Municipality Chair Shivaji Yadav. It is said that former ward chair Dilip Yadav has a role in forcibly relocating the family in a temporary shelter away from rest of the community. The family are currently living in a temporary thatched house with 2 rooms some 500 meters away, but it lacks water and electricity services. It suffices to say that it will never be the home that they had been living in. Malik and his wife Anita are unable to file a police complaint because their livelihood depends on the same people who displaced them. The couple are sanitation workers, and if they spoke out, they risked losing everything. On February 9, some 20 kilometers away from Aurahi in Bhagwatipur, a 17-year-old girl, Rinku Kumari Sada, stepped out of her house late in the evening to relieve herself in a nearby field. It was something she and all women in her village have done countless number of times before, but this time she never came back the same. Somewhere in the night, Rinku was taken, and when she returned home the next morning, she was shaking, terrified and broken. Rinku was abducted and gang-raped by 3 men from her own village. If such an incident were to happen to a girl from some privileged family, the family would have gone straight to the police and the perpetrator would be booked. But in Bhagwatipur, justice is not that simple. Instead of seeking authorities' help, the village elders gathered under a tree and held a panchayat, an informal court of men deciding the fate of a girl who had already lost everything. The decision: the perpetrators would pay a fine of 140,000 rupees and Rinku's family would stay silent. No police, no complaints, no justice. 2 days later, Rinku was found hanging in her home. They called it suicide. As of March 13, 10 people involved in Rinku's case have been detained. This includes Rupesh Mandal, the prime accused, apprehended on 5th of March. Nathanisa, an elected ward member, arrested for allegedly attempting to mediate the incident through informal panchayat proceedings. Ram Kripal Mandal, Bindeshwar Sa, Rajendra Mandal, Chandeshwar Mandal, Ram Vinod Mandal and Kamlesh Das for their roles in the panchayat proceedings and attempting to suppress the crime by resolving it within the community. The latest arrest came on 9th of March of Kari Sada and Ramdev Sada for their potential involvement in the events leading to Rinku's death. In the case of Deepak Malik, local police say Mahayagya organizer Bajrangi Baba, Rural Municipality Chair Shivaji Yadav and former ward chair Dilip Yadav have been out of contact so far. These are 2 separate stories, one of a home reduced to rubble and one of a life lost too soon, but both are bound by the same reality: an age-old caste-based discrimination that refuses to go despite necessary laws in place. For Deepak's family, survival is now a daily struggle. For Rinku's, survival means living with an unbearable void. And for countless others across our country, these are not isolated incidents. They are an everyday reminder that laws alone cannot change the situation unless we do. Nepal declared the abolishment of caste-based discrimination in 2006. Any act of caste-based discrimination is punishable by law, but laws have not been enough to change years of oppression. Justice has been delayed. Justice has been denied. And the onus is on you, on me, and all of us to not let history repeat itself. For Rinku and Deepak, and for thousands still fighting to be seen, still fighting to be treated as equals, still fighting for the right to live with as much dignity as anyone else. It's a fight for justice. It's a fight for a just world.